Most people think visiting suppliers in China requires a dedicated business trip, a week off work, expensive flights, hotels, planning. But what if I told you that if you're already flying internationally, China could be a strategic stopover for supplier meetings, factory visits, and business development to actually get that business and product ideas started and going off the ground. This is not a dedicated sourcing trip, no major schedule disruption, just a smarter way to travel without even needing a visa. Today, I'll show you how business owners can potentially leverage China's transit policies, including what people still call the 144-hour visa transit program, to meet suppliers, inspect factories, and build the relationships that they're already going to do traveling internationally. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Michael Regan, founder of Borderless Commerce. I spent the last 8 years living in China, working in product development and helping businesses source products directly from Chinese manufacturers. During that time, I visited factories, worked with suppliers across multiple industries, managed product development projects, and helped businesses navigate everything from sourcing and manufacturing to shipping and fulfillment, everything you can think of. So when I talk about supplier business and business development in China, I'm speaking from real world experience, and I'm here to help you to come here to make your business idea a reality by taking advantage of this visa-free program. That being said, if you want to build relationships in China or directly from the source, consider using my website, Borderless Commerce, where you can put any 168, Pinduoduo, or Taobao link to buy products without needing a passport, Alipay, or any of that jazz. Now let's jump in. Before booking anything, always verify the latest requirement. Many people still believe to be the 144-hour visa exemption transit policy. So this is the old one, right? I'll put all of this in the description down below. But if you ever lived in China, policies change literally overnight, eligibility requirements change, and your itinerary matters. So this video is not immigration advice. This goal is just to show you how to strategically use this policy and be on the lookout. So if you're ever traveling internationally. So who can actually use this policy? So first of all, I'm going to go to the latest one. This is the old one, right? If you still see 144-hour visa, that's the old one, but you can see that quite a lot of countries, so 14 in European countries, other European countries, 3 in American countries, as in North or South America, Oceania countries, and then Asian countries. And I'll put a visual somewhere on the screen so that you can understand exactly what countries validate. So before you even plan this, if your country's not on that list, like, don't even think about it. And I frequently get asked, does this apply to me? Can I go to China visa free? And the answer is maybe. Look up the list. I'll put the links in the description below and you can have. And look, for you Americans like myself out there, yes, this does definitely apply to you. And if you look at the newest policy, which was published in 2024, of course, you can keep looking to see if there'll be new ones even after this video. You can see that there's more and more countries being added. They're being more lenient and they're adding it from 144 hours to 240 hours. So think of everything you can do in like almost a week's time of going to China without a visa. You do have to be careful though that you go to the right ports. So you don't want to like go to a crossing that doesn't support this scheme. So let me just do like a snapshot here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So what you don't want to do is like go from the Hong Kong speed train to Shenzhen and go to that border crossing and try this out. Although that may be a different policy. Just be careful because the port that you end up going across or crossing immigration from may not support this scheme. So I'd recommend going in through a flight and making sure that you're in one of these cities that supports this visa scheme. So now let's get realistic on how you actually plan this flight. So let's say you start from Los Angeles and you're planning a trip to Asia just for fun, whether it's like Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, you name it. Instead of flying directly there, you can structure your itinerary to include China as a stopper. So now your trip goes from day 1 Los Angeles, day 2 Guangzhou, supplier meetings inside Guangzhou. Once you're in Guangzhou, now you can take a speed train to essentially all over Guangdong province for different kinds of suppliers. And then after 5 or 6 days, after you've done your factory visits, then you continue on to Thailand. And it's as simple as that. Yes, you're originally going for vacation, but if you always had that business idea and you're like, man, I wish I could see these factories in person to make sure I'm not being scammed and I'm working with a reputable supplier, you can plan it ahead to do that. But now this begs the question, so how the heck do you find these suppliers before you fly out to China? The biggest mistake people make is booking flights first, then searching for suppliers. I recommend you do the opposite. You first, before you travel, you can build a supplier shortlist, verify suppliers, add them on WeChat, schedule meetings, confirm factory visits. You should be landing in China with a calendar that's already full. So let me show you a quick trick on 1688 to find supplier locations. So in this case, I'm going to search for my 168 search results. I'm searching for, oh, that's spelled wrong, portable charger, right? So here I can see there are tons of suppliers. Like, it's overwhelming. Like, there's 34 different pages with probably 100 or so, 50 or so per page. But here's the trick. Every region in China has its own specialty when it comes to sourcing goods. You can also select the location. So I want to keep it in Guangdong. One, I live in Guangzhou, so it's convenient, but I'm just going to select Guangdong. If you want to go even more niche, you can select the countries. Now, you might see everything in Chinese. As I always say, always use Google Chrome, install the Google Translate extension. You can right click, translate to English, or click up here if you have it installed and translate to English. I've been doing this for long enough that I don't need any English. But let's say I want to pick Guangzhou, and now you can see it further narrows down the supplier choices. So let's just pick a random supplier. Let's say I want to go even further down, and I want the MOQ to be 1, and they can ship within 48 hours, and I have overseas certifications. So like, I'm even furthering it even more. Now down to 2 pages. That's a lot better than 34 pages. So let's see any I like here. No. Interesting. These are interesting solutions. So I'm gonna pick this supplier. This is a random supplier, right? What does this do? It looks like it's for nails. I mean, I just picked random supplier. You can do a little bit more research, but here you can see supplier information. So okay, you see it says Guangzhou, so you know they're in Guangzhou. You can see their business details here, so you can see what area in Guangzhou they are. So they're in Baiyunqiu. It says their exact address here. Of course, you want to verify with the supplier this is their accurate address, because they may have changed locations. It was established 2025, and then you want to see more of their more of their factory tours. So a lot of these 168 suppliers have factory tours that you can use, and here you can see where it is, and importantly you can see, okay, this one is, and you can see on the right hand side here, once you enter the factory page, you can give them a call and it gives you a phone number. So here you have a phone number. If you can call Chinese phone number is great. There may be a chance they have a WeChat with this phone number, you don't know. So we're gonna make a simple Excel sheet, and you can always use ChatGPT to just take a snapshot and do this for you, but just for sakes of this video, we'll do it from scratch. We're gonna go on Guangzhou product, the URL of the product, and then the supplier should be able to do a copy and paste, boop, 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 and then say books. Quite simple, right? Now it's important to know that when you're searching for these suppliers, that you know what areas to search for in. So just giving you a general overview, and I'll put a map up here just to show you how it is. The cities that are best known for specific supplies start with Shenzhen, electronics; Dongguan, manufacturing and tooling and toys; Guangzhou, apparel and consumer goods; Foshan, furniture; Zhongshan, lighting. I can spend all day going through each of the regions here, but you get the point. I'll just simply put a snapshot for you to get it. And once you've narrowed down the suppliers, this brings me on to my next point on why factories take visitors seriously. So yes, you have the online inquiry, which I made a complete video for on how to book an online factory tour versus an on-site factory visit. So you don't necessarily need a dedicated China sourcing trip if you're already traveling internationally. China can become an opportunity to combine business development, supplier verification, factory visits, and relationship building into a trip that you're already planning. The key here is preparation. Use 168 first, just like I showed you. Build your supplier list, schedule the meeting, then maximize your time once you're on the ground. Now, if you're like, Michael, I don't have time for that. I don't want to fly to China at all. I made a dedicated video on how to book a virtual tour and how to find their contacts, specifically their WeChat, using different methods, not just 168. So if you're interested in doing it that way and not actually flying to China, and you want to know how, watch this video right here.